100 years ago, on April 9th, the young nation of Canada came of age at the Battle of Vimy Ridge. As a result of the actions of Canadian soldiers at this battle, Canada became a nation among nations. It gained its own voice on the world stage. Canada paid dearly for this honor, and today Vimy Ridge is a memorial to more than 11,000 Canadians who lost their lives in France during the First World War. One of those Canadians, through his bravery, undoubtedly saved the lives of many others at the expense of his own. For his bravery and gallantry in action, Lance Sergeant Ellis Sifton of the 18th Battalion was awarded the Victoria Cross, the nation's and the British Empire's highest honor. The 18th Battalion was made up of young men from southwestern Ontario, from Windsor to London, and everywhere between. Here with me today to share Lance Sergeant Sifton's story is amateur historian Blair Ferguson. Thank you, Blair, for sharing Sifton's story with us. Can you tell us how you became acquainted with it?
I hung out in my grandfather's basement. I kind of made myself invisible and hung out in the corner when all these old guys sat around and smoked Navy player cut cigarettes and drank Crown Royal. And one day I'm sitting there and listening very intently to everybody, and this one gentleman starts talking about Ellis Sifton.
The fellow that told you about the story, how did he know about Sifton?
So as it turns out, this gentleman was actually present at Ellis Sifton's action that won him the Victoria Cross.
Just what did Sifton do that warranted the Victoria Cross?
Jumped up out of that trench and started running up the hill towards this machine gun nest. Now this guy said that Ellis was hit on the way up the hill. They could see his body twitching. He got to the machine gun nest. He jumped into the machine gun nest. Of course, they couldn't see what was going on down at the bottom of the hill. He found out afterwards that Ellis Sifton had single-handedly, disarmed the machine gun, killing the entire crew with his Lee Enfield and bayonet.
What happened to Sifton after that?
And Ellis held them off with not his Lee Enfield shooting at them because he was out of ammo, but holding his Lee Enfield as a baseball bat and holding these Germans off.
That's amazing. What happened next?
At that moment, a dying German officer rolls over, pulls out his Luger, and shoots Ellis Sifton in the head, killing him instantly.
Thank you for taking time to share Lance Sergeant Sifton's story with us. We will remember them. Lest we forget, this is just one story of one young man who sacrificed so that we could have the nation we have today. For Owl Report, I'm David Lafreniere. What effect did that story have on you when you heard it as a kid?
And I remember it as I'm telling it like the day I was told it. I can see the man's face. And because of that, even at that young age, I could see that he wasn't being boastful. He wasn't being whatever. It wasn't male bravado. He was telling about a man who he knew he owed his life to. He was talking about a man who he knew had saved countless Canadian soldiers.
We will remember them.